And I guarantee you, like I said, this is gonna be the best interview of your life, always.
I love it.
Period.
I love the energy already.
It's Rosa. I am here on the rotation with truly what I think is an R&B goat, Miss Reyez. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. Happy to be here.
Alhamdulillah, I'm happy to be here too. Yes, okay, I said I was gonna chill out. You, to me, have been on my Mount Rushmore of artists. I'm an R&B head, but you, my friend, are an R&B goat. I want to, before we even get into the music, because we could spend hours on it, I want to talk about what happened to old Yessie and how we get to new Jessie.
The change kind of just happened in me as a person. Like the pandemic affected me, like it affected a lot of people. Everything kind of went left, like relationships, my heart, my mental state. Everything was just very low, and it was at the point of you sink or swim, you know, you heal or you die. And then I found this book called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and it really shifted things, and it made me more aware, more present, more introspective, more connected with my intuition, and that by default affected me as an artist.
You know what's so crazy is the power of now changed my life too. So when the pandemic hit, also the heartbreak, and I did, have you ever heard of the 75 Heart Challenge? So I did that. It's for 70, okay, it's for 75 days. If you mess up on one day, so like on day 30, you have a cheat meal, you have to start it over. So it has to be consecutive. You have to work out twice a day, one inside, one outside. You have to read 10 pages of a book every day. You have to journal. You can have no sugar, no whatever, like no cheat meals, no anything, no alcohol, no nothing. I want to talk about you being a CEO just like you're a creative. And when did you find that balance? You know what I mean? How did you? I still have a hard time with it.
I just figure it out. I put on blinders. There's not really an option. Like, I think that what helps is that, like, I'm aware of what's on my shoulders, and I've asked for this, you know, I worked for this position, so I don't want to take it for granted. I don't want to let shit fall by the wayside just because I'm just because I'm emotional.
Talk to me about your relationship with your parents and how has it grown as yourself has grown?
They're the best. I love them. They're on the tour bus right now.
Oh, they're here?
They're here. They're here. They're chilling. But yeah, I went through that when I was like 19, 20, that something hit. Everything got, for years I was a dick. I was such a little dick, and I didn't have any appreciation. Me too. And then it was like a 7-year like switch. Puberty, I guess, you know? And then when I finally came back to the surface and I looked around and they were the only people there, I was like, oh, got it.
You got a tight circle of these R&B girls who, like, to me, I'm actually a little devastated because, like, my dream in life is to get that call, hey, I'm going to pop up on Kehlani's tour. Like, I want to be there, present, that's active.
She's great.
How close are you with some of your R&B girls? And it looks like y'all real tight.
Well, listen, Kehlani's like, she's just really, she's sweet. She's as genuine as you wish that she'd be. You know what I mean? And like the day that we met, she like, I was having an anxiety attack in the bathroom. I get social anxiety, so and I used to have it really bad back then. Now I can handle it better. But anyway, she didn't know me from a like hole in the wall, and she pulled up. And she was like, "Hey, you all right?" And kind of like, talked me off the ledge, and then we've been cool ever since. I'm lucky. I'm lucky that I have peers around me that I respect and I value, that are just amazing, and you know what I mean? It's just dope.
Yeah, with that being said, I do have to say, again, the Jessie I knew was there's no media around, there's no anything. Look, you laugh because it's true that she's but I respected it. I was like, yes, she's like, she needs to A, protect her energy, but B, that's just how she moves. And now, what did your relationship with yourself change like for you to be able to have a different relationship with the media, with the press, you know what I mean? Now I can look up an interview and there's more than 5 Jessie Reyez interviews. And you got it from the best, but like, what did you have to do to be like, I gotta come outside?
Having more control of my emotional equilibrium, regardless of what I go through. Like before, I would have been on an absolutely no before the show because my energy's so sensitive, you know. But just learning to protect that and make sure that it's impermeable regardless of what I face, so that when I go on, I just feel like nothing can faze me. Like I'm just like, I'm walking in strong and it's fine. So I just feel stronger. I feel like I have a footing in terms of my like physical health and my mental health, that I'm like, oh, if I I don't feel overly exerted. I don't feel emotionally drained. I just feel.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, mellow. It's good.
You lit. And that's a new you, because I know, again, before it was just a no. So just a thank you.
Thank you.
What are some of the things that you got to do every day to make sure you're grounded?
I pray as soon as I wake up. I pray as soon as I wake up. Same. I read. I stretch. Oof. If I can figure it out in the day, which I don't think today's looking like it, but I go to hot yoga classes in every city I'm at. Like, I just look it up, love it, and if possible, but this one's very difficult. But on my off time, like, I go to farms. I like volunteer with horses and stuff.
We also love Rock Nation over here too. They've been showing you love from the beginning, but what did that do to your self-confidence when you knew people of that value believed in you?
Crazy. I'll never forget, like, the Made in America set, and when we finished it and Tai was like, come backstage, and I went, and that was the first time I met Beyonce, and she was there. And she was like, you killed it. And I was like, oh, you watched it? And she was like, no. She was talking about the performance the day before, which was the MTV Awards, where I'd made a mistake. Like, my voice had croaked, and I was just beating myself up over it. It was just hard to swallow that. Because my voice damn near never croaks on stage. Yeah. And of course, it happens on something that's like television. So I was disheartened. Being a human in public did some to me that, like, one of the best pieces of projects. We could talk about Gatekeeper and Figures and Kiddo, but that 2018 Be a Good Person, that Apple Juice, that Being Friends, that, oh my gosh, like, you did it to us, the Imported, the Salsa, the Dear Yessie, like, that was a staple of time. Do you have like a favorite song you performed from that? It's not on the set list right now, but I love doing Dear Yessie.
You go crazy. At the end, Michelle Obama did, like, when you go nuts. Okay, I thought that Being Human in Public was you. It was authentically you. It was you coming of age, and then you gave us it was a bit of a dark album. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Jessie. I was like, is she good? Then after that, I said, okay, let me find out what she does. You did. You exited the premises. You were gone for a bit. Then you come back after the pandemic. You give us Yessie, which is just a masterpiece. I'm talking, it's not the Coffin and it's not the I Do, but what was one of the most challenging songs that you felt like you were putting out with Yessie?
So, the Emotional Detachment demo was like, there were so many versions.
I can't even believe you put that out, sis. That hurt me just even listening. If I'm at a party, either the entire party's getting set on fire, fully set on fire, or we're boxing right now. So you had a lot of grace in those moments. The fact that you were able to even withstand some of that.
Yep, thank God. God's given me patience, so it's great. But that was a difficult one, but more so because of the technique, because it was like there were so many versions. People that like understand, and you also need people that respect your decision when you're like, yo, actually, I think V3 was it. Because after all that work, you know, and if I made such a point to become more in touch with my intuition that I was trusting my decisions on that, you know? Yeah. And there's a lot of people that could be like, yo, but all this work, all this, all that, but it was great to be able to be around people that respected the space that I was in, that I currently am in, about like, I'll have a discussion, but if this is what I feel, this is how we're moving. This is my
decision. You're still toxic though, let's talk about it. Get over him by getting over under me. Your bitches love me. I got a line of both guys and a line of both girls waiting on me. Your karma is that you still love me. Miss Yessie, what is the last toxic thing you did?
I've been working on it. I'm sure, like, it's
I'm still
natural.
Trying to pull the rug from people when they're not looking.
It's the natural human condition to show yourself grace in moments of judgment. So obviously, I'm like, I'm aware that I'm growing, so I've been trying to give myself more grace. But there's moments that I've withheld, like. And I'm consciously doing it.
You said I should get my revenge, but I didn't. Yeah. That's you being polite.
Yeah, there's things like people that I've seen in public where I could make it a thing and I don't. Things that I could, like if I'm gonna do a tweet and I'm like, this is not necessary, and then I'll delete it or I'll put it in my drafts. And then, you know, wearing certain sweaters around certain people.
The last thing she did was nothing toxic. I love a good Jessie. I love this new Yessie.
I'm working on it. I'm sure it'll come out.
What's the most, like, for me, how do you do this? Like, what's the most Gemini thing about you? Like, I'm an Aries. Maybe that's why I can't untap some of my...
I love Aries. My best friend's an Aries.
But we're...
Love.
We're crazy.
Life's too short not to be crazy.
I will, for fun. I wake up, light fires, and then I'm just chilling.
Love
it's not
it.
even nice.
I love it.
And that's why it's like, my opinion doesn't matter. It's the only one that matters, guys.
I love it.
I want to ask you a fast round of questions
Okay,
that I've
let's
been
go.
dying to ask you for almost 3 years.
I'm ready.
So some of them are random, some of them aren't. Not my sister just texted me talking about, are you ready? The new Jessie album. It's so fine. I knew I had it.
Can you do a zoom in? That's
Oh, yeah,
cute.
yeah, of course, yeah. Look,
That's
from the
super
Sissy
cute.
Squad. Yeah. I love the new Jessie Reyez album. I said, I hope I get it. She goes, Inshallah, the interview was
Inshallah.
good. Inshallah. Okay, are you
Si
ready?
Dios quiere.
Yeah, what do y'all say?
Si Dios quiere.
Si Dios quiere. What's your biggest ick in someone? Like when someone icks you. Yeah, like mine is the other day, it was the bad breath. Had to exit the premises.
You know, I got fear.
In someone?
Yeah,
Ooh.
fear. Like when I see fear in someone, I'm like, I don't like it.
Oh.
How you talk, how you move,
Yeah.
how you walk into a room, how you start
Yeah.
discussions, how
Yeah.
you debate. I just don't like it.
What? Nah, you debate. They're not debating, they're getting rocked. Okay,
They getting rocked. I don't like it. Ugh.
what is your current vice?
My current vice?
Vice.
Chicken wings.
Get into it. What kind? What we got?
Hot
with
and honey garlic.
Crazy. She a bad bitch, is Jessie Reyez. Okay, what's your guilty pleasure?
Oh.
Mine is
Funnel cakes. What were you gonna say?
period. Mine is bad TV, like reality TV.
true.
I'll watch the shit out of that. Okay, what's like the most American thing about you?
The most American thing about
Yeah,
me?
like you love Chick-fil-A. Like I know, you're in these states. What's something that's
Oh, pollo tropical, which is, I guess it's Latino American, but also I say boy a lot more than, like, I didn't realize it till I started talking to boy, like don't do that, boy. When I lived in Florida, I didn't realize it stuck on me so much till I moved back to Toronto, and people were like, where are you from? And I'm like, I'm from here, what the where are you from?
You are Canadian and you are also a bit American. You everywhere. You moving around. When you go home, you still follow the rules of the house. When you come outside, you could do as you please. How do you get past that creativity or just becoming an adult, knowing our parents still do not agree with this?
Because it's English. That's how. Because it's
No,
English.
you know what I mean? Like,
But
you're
I'm
not
serious.
wrong, you're
It's
not
because
wrong.
it's English songs. That's why I can get away with it.
You're not wrong. And I say things in English where, again, my dad's like, what? I'm like,
Don't worry about it.
you were even encouraged, you say, to wave both flags, just like I am. But how did you tell yourself, Khalas, it's time for me to start growing up, regardless of the scenarios of my culture?
I used the fact that my mom didn't press me to kind of build my reaction to everything else, including people saying you gotta wear brand names now that you're growing into more of the limelight, or people saying whatever, anybody with any sort of opinions. And I don't fault them for it, because people often don't even do it with a negative or like a malice. It's to them, it's their best. They're trying to help, thinking that they're helping, but I'm like, oh, but that's not me. You gotta let me rock. And I used that, the way that my mom was with me, in every way. So even for traditional shit, like my mom just, she had people in her life that were telling her, hey, your daughter's this, your daughter's doing that, and my mom was on the, let her be, so I didn't, it's not some, I've just been really lucky that I didn't even have OD traditional parents. And mind you, she'll still every now and then be like, there's kids in the audience, maybe you shouldn't cuss as much. And I look at her and I'm like, hello? And she's like, right.
Last time you wanted to be stuck in your happiness, because you can't always be happy, you can't always be sad. We chase the peace. When was the last time you were like, I'm living in here? Is it the album release party? Are we staying there forever?
Yesterday on the tour bus at like 3 a.m, me, my guitarist Heather, my keyboardist Mark, and my drummer Chino were up to like 4 a.m. just talking about how life is, like
I love having those combos.
Yeah, and like how we've been rocking with each other for years, like years. Just reminiscing really helps put things into perspective.
Dating apps? Would Jessie Reyez ever get? I'm just wondering. I never know.
I was on it for like 4 days and then I couldn't do it.
It do be like that. When Figures came out, they said this is a hip hop station. Don't play that song. Me and my boss said, we're playing it. We slid Figures in for a month. Then Body Count came out. We did the same thing. And then when Imported came out, I hope I have my phone. I want to show you. Look at that ride. Ready?
Okay, air guitar.
Yo,
Let's
this
go.
is on hip hop radio. I said R&B is it. You are the queen. You've been the queen. You've been out here since the beginning. So tell me, what are we visualizing tonight on stage? What are we visualizing for our career? What are we visualizing for our friendship? What are we doing, Miss Reyez?
Joy, presence, fruition, full embrace of arriving at potential, constant growth.
Smooth sailing. Well,